Hey, what's going on, guys? Austin back here in our video. Gonna go over a couple of my favorite baits here for this time of year. Some things is gonna get big bites, some things that's just gonna get you bit, some tips and techniques and tricks for you all. Alright, so if I'm just looking to get bit, number one, I am gonna go with a shaky head. If I can find my shaky head. Here it is. All right, so number one, shaky head. I can put a few different things on it if I need to. I can put a craw on it. I can do a traditional shaky head, which is straight tail worm. I can put a fluke on it, and also put a swim bait on it. So I like a fluke if I'm fishing bluff walls. I like this if I'm dragging over long tapering points. Same way as a craw. I just let the fish tell me that. But old school will never be outdone. Just a straight trick worm. Alright, moving on. Swim baits. Y'all already knew this was going to be in the video. Swim baits and flukes. Alright, so I like a couple different colors, couple different sizes, that sort of thing. I like just your standards and fluke. Alright, so I like a swim bait. This here is a custom one. It's almost like a Largo shad. They are very, very, very durable. Like I'm pulling it and my hand's slipping, trying to tear it. Like, finally tore. Finally. And look what it did to that tail. Alright, so swim bait there. I like a white one, and I like a more of a green pumpkin pearl. Reason for that green pumpkin pearl, I don't usually throw it but dirty water. Right now it's the fall time, well, late summer, early fall. You're going to get a lot of rain, dirty up them creek channels and that sort of thing. That's why I like that. Alright, moving on. If you are looking to trigger a bigger fish, then throw one of these. Throw a jig. This here is green pumpkin purple, watermelon red, green pumpkin. This here is like a roadkill color, black and blue, orange crush, dirty Sanchez, and more like a bluegill / sunfish. Alright, so I'm going to back up to that shaky head real quick. I actually left something out. If you have tried all these, the fluke on it, swim bait on it, worm on it, craw on it, try this craw right here. Try a zoom craw. So they make a couple different ones. I like a Ultra Vibe Speed craw, and I also like the Z craw. I actually ran out of Z craws the other night, so that's why they're not present. But that right there is the Ultra Vibe Speed craw. I like that watermelon seed color in it. Alright, moving on. So this is for you all early morning risers going out there to jump fish. Throw a spoon or some sort of blade bait like a Dominky Vol or old school silver buddy, and that will get you bit. Alright, top waters. This here is a, well, that there had a piece gone and it's starting to rust, I guess. I don't know. This here is a Evergreen shallow blow. This is the smallest one you can get. I just like the smallest one. Feel like I get more bites. I like a Bone Rico. I like a black War Eagle 1/2 ounce buzzbait. Reason for them top waters I chose is, say I'm going down a bank and I see a tree, I'm going to fire that buzzbait down it, burn it right back by it, keep my rod tip level, and just burn it. See if I can't get a reaction strike out of it. Alright, if I'm fishing more open water in the jumps and I have a little bit of chop on the water, I want that Rico. That way when I pop it, it goes under the water a little bit, because I throw mine on 8-pound line, spinning rod. I don't just pop mine on the surface. I try and make it go dunk. Well, them waves is going to help it go under. Them fish is going to get a better look at it and just blow it out of the water. Now, if that's not working for you, if you feel like they are getting too good of a look, then go up to a spook or some sort of walking bait. You can really play around with the action. You can walk it slow, you can walk it decently in between, you can walk it extremely quickly and get them to blow up on it. Alright, so if they're not eating that, that's where that spoon or blade bait comes in. And what I really like about the shaky head is it just flat out gets you bit. It helps you locate them fish, what they're doing, what type of structure they're on. That shaky head, awesome way to do it. Honorable mention here is a crankbait. I like a Spro rock crawler. They dive 9 to 14 foot. They weigh a ½ ounce, so you can really get away with it on any medium heavy rod, maybe a medium rod. You really don't need a dedicated cranking rod for it. And then for a 6XD, you can about get away with it on a 7 foot medium heavy rod. It's going to wear you out. It wears me out. But man, I hate throwing these things sometimes. Other times I love it. And I just ain't bought a dedicated cranking rod, honestly. I have one, but it's not stiff enough to hold a 6 or 8XD. So that's why it's on a 7 foot medium heavy. I think a 7 foot medium heavy is the most versatile rod they make. Alright, so a couple things. Throw it on a slower gear ratio reel. That's what I had to learn, because I tried throwing it on my 7 2-to-1s or faster, and I could throw it for like an hour or two and I'd be absolutely killed. Same way with an A-rig. I'd throw it and it would kill me. The reason why is your faster gear ratio reels have more teeth. It's like a gear. So your faster gear ratio reels have more gears. Alright, so they don't make them as thick to be able to fit more in it. That's what makes it real fast. Alright, your slower gear ratio reels has a bigger gear tooth. I call them teeth. So imagine this right here. Imagine the point of your hook. That's about what's in this. That is a 7 2-to-1. Alright, so now think of the bend of the hook here. That would be what's in here, a little bit bigger. So you are going to get a lot more torque and power, a lot more winching power with a slower ratio reel. So it's not going to kill you that this bait is diving 20 foot. You're not fighting the water per se. Alright, so then something else with your top waters beside your buzzbait. This is what I like about this reel. So I got this reel. I think I gave like $5 or $10 for it at the flea market. I bought it to crank with because I didn't want to destroy a high-end reel or anything like that. But I found that reel for like $20 at my local tackle store. I think they're like 40 new. It's a Cast King Royal Legend 200. I wanted it because of that bigger handle. That way I could really winch with a crankbait. So I didn't have a reel for this rod, so I slapped it on it and fished with it, and I like it. It balances this rod out a lot better. Alright, so what I was meaning is, I know some of y'all high-end guys ain't gonna be able to stand this. Me, it don't bother me. I found that I hook set better and get a lot more fish in the boat. And I'm going to be using this reel to jerkbait fish with as well. Yes, it is square. Yes, it is big, bulky, whatever. I don't care. Find you an old reel. It ain't got to be nothing high dollar. It ain't got to be nothing, no specific name brand or anything like that. But find you an older reel. the reason for that is they did not have a very good anti-reverse system. So this reel will not wind back. Well, there you go. That's all it has. So make sure it has that before you buy it. You want it to stop. So I'm reeling, stop. Reeling, stop. Reeling, stop. So, yes, that spool is stopped. But, watch this. You see that little bit of rotation right there, that little bit of give? I will not even touch the handle here. So, here we go. Handle. Stop. Can't take it no more. Reason why I say that is I tend to be working it real quick and real aggressive, and then one blows up on it, and here I am. I'm literally boom as soon as I see that weight. So if you do not want to get a reel like this, you can turn away from your bait and just go by ear and feel. So when you hear it, keep working it, let it get tight, and then jacking. Me, I guess you could call trigger happy when I know it's a good fish or a big fish. I instantly want to set and get him in the boat. So this really helped me. That's a tip for you. Also looking away, like I mentioned, that's another tip for you. All right, what's the word? Not really you smaller guys, but I'm 6'1", and if I use a 7-foot rod for jerkbait or for topwater, I'm constantly having to watch my rod tip to make sure I'm not hitting weeds if I'm pond fishing or the edge of my boat. So I like a 6'6" medium heavy rod. I know that camera's blurry. Don't know why. 6'6" medium heavy rod, because I'm work it and not worry about hitting the deck of my boat or anything like that. So that's just a couple techniques. Your jigs, throw on 7 foot, 7'2", whichever you have, medium heavy. And then as far as your shaky heads, you can throw on the same exact rod. I like a shaky head on lighter line, 8-pound line. I like it on spinning rod. I'm a spinning rod fanatic. I own a bunch of them, more than bait casters, shocking to say. Then your swim bait, you can experiment with a few rod lengths. This right here is a 6'6". This here is a medium light rod. You can get away with this rod. You're just not going to be able to cast it near as far. So what I would suggest is go out here, buy you a crappie rod. Get you a 8-foot crappie rod. And that way you can be able to cast these light heads. Like that's an 1/8 ounce. I'll show you all what I'd be throwing on here. And it's not going to be adding a whole lot of weight. Alright, so this right here is about as heavy as I'm going to get, which is a curly tail grub. Majority of the time, I'm going to have this right here on, which is a Kitech Swimbaits 3-inch easy shiner. So these is the skinny ones. So I'm not going to be able to cast near as far with this. That's where that 8-foot and the longer rod comes into play. So that right there, they were out there real slow. All right, guys. So I'm going to go over line real quick, and then I'm going to let you all go. All right, so line for a jig. I like 12-pound line. That's just me. If I'm not going to be fishing much structure like trees or anything like that, sometimes I'll even drop it down to 10 if I'm point fishing. Or if I'm just throwing in a wind-blown pocket and just dragging rock or something like that, because I usually try to retie after every 2 or 3 fish. I said try. I didn't say I did. That's why I lose fish. Alright, so cranking. I want this thing to get as deep as I possibly can. I know people's going to say, well, you can throw it out there and long line it. That's true enough. But I like being able to cast, reel it in, cast, reel it in, cast, reel it in. So I actually go 10-pound mono on my crankbait. Reason why mono, I know it stretches, but that mono, if I throw it out there and I hook one, it's going to stretch and not allow me to pull these treble hooks out of a fish's mouth as easily. All right, top water. I don't throw braid. I know I should. It has no stretch. It's great. It lasts a long time. I don't throw braid simply because I hate how it sounds in my guides. I feel like the fish can hear it in the water, and it eats out your guides. I know they have Power Pro, Super Slick, etc., etc., Seaguar, Smackdown, Tournament Braid, whatever you want to call it. But I still would prefer mono. Am I giving up casting distance on my surface bait? Absolutely. But a quick way to solve that is a lot of people, they tuck their rod right here and they go. That is the correct way to cast. You should not be moving your arms. It should be right here. That's it. Just over. Me, I try to get my top water to soar. So I'll explain what I mean. So a lot of your technology has advanced similars like your Megabass Vision 110, your striking Sexy Dawg, and they actually have a weight transfer in here. So what it will do is when you come back, that weight's going to come back to your head. Then when you go forward, it's going to go all the way back to the back of the bait. What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to make that bait go don't like straight back. Some of them is so light that, especially a crankbait, they want to do this right here in the wind, and you get issues. So what I do is I'll come around and I'll go like that. So show y'all one more time. Holding my rod, come on the opposite side of my body from where I cast, come around my head just like a baseball. Shoot, knock it out of the park. A lot of people make fun of me. It works for me. I really would like for you all to try it. It's just one of them things you gotta try it to see and believe. Do not try it in your driveway because you're gonna be scared of hitting something or scared of breaking something. Try it on the water, I promise you. That's something else. If you are pretty experienced with casting a bait caster, then you will be able to set these looser, your reels looser, and be able to cast a lot further. So that's what I do. I'll go shoot, just like a baseball. I mean, you see a lot of baseball players come back right here, and then when that ball gets right to them, they come back and they pivot off and swing forward. So that's pretty much what you're doing. You're just coming around your body. I know, I think Tim Horton did a video on it about how he slings his Z-Boss 21 crankbait, and he comes around his body like that. That's where I learned that from. So ever since then, crankbaits, topwaters, jerkbaits, I do it like that. Is I come around the body, swing. Come around the body, swing. You get further. Alright guys, but this video is 19 minutes long, about to be 20 and some change. I just want to say thank you all for all your support. If you have any comments, any suggestions on what I should do next, a video over, or a technique, or a rig, or anything like that, please let me know. Leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions on today's video, leave it down below in the comments. and I will comment, either comment or it'll be in the description, some of my favorite rods, reels, budget rods, higher end rods. I've had it all for you all. All right, guys, but I do thank you all for watching this video, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And as always, be safe, have fun, do something nice for somebody, please, and give God all the glory. He's the reason why I'm able to do what I'm doing and you're doing. All right, thank you all.